Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and in this new video guys I'm going to show you that I was able to configure GNS3. So let's go ahead and fire this up, and I was able to configure GNS3 with a GNS3 VMware, as you can see right here, and I have the VMware Workstation Pro that I got, and I was able to set it up. Actually, one of my friends helped me out setting up the GNS3 with a switch, and also with a router, with an actual Cisco router or with a Cisco image. And if I go, let me see, this one is this one right here. So this is a Cisco image. Okay, there we go. So what we're going to do is we are going to configure this network with Ospf to see if it is actually working. So let's go ahead and place the support routers over here, and then we are going to add this Cisco switch, and they all are actual Cisco images, all of them. Okay, so it is a little bit better than Packet Tracer because we get everything that a Cisco router does and the way that a Cisco actually works. Okay, so we are going to start this first video tutorial on GNS3 with an actual Cisco router and an actual Cisco image, switch image. So let's go ahead and let's plug them in. Two, and then three. Okay, and now let's go ahead and fire them up. Let's go ahead and start all of them at the same time. As you can see, all of them went green. And they do take a minute for them to come up. So if I open this, go to the console, there we go. And as you can see, it's not like a Packet Tracer that as soon as you start a Cisco router, it starts up right away. Since it is an actual image, it takes a minute for it to load. Here we go. The state are shut down for all the interfaces. So it actually takes, I think it takes like a minute, maybe less. There we go. Now it's up and running. Great. Now let's go ahead and configure this one. Let's give it a host name of router 1. So this one right here is going to be router 1. So router 1. Okay. So let's go ahead and configure this router 1. Let's give it an interface gigabit 0/0. And actually this is a new computer that I just obtained, which has 32 gigabyte of RAM, and I also have an i7 CPU, so it is a lot powerful, a lot more powerful than the other one, which lets me run GNS3 with a lot of routers and switches smoothly. As you can see right here, my RAM is only at 7.2% and my CPU is only at 20%. Okay, so now on gigabit 0/0, let's go ahead and configure an IP address. And since a new computer, it's also a different keyboard, so I'm going to take, it's not going to be as fast as before, so I'm not going to type as fast as I did before in my other videos until I get used to this keyboard. So here we go. IP address 192.168.10.1. Now shut down. Great. Let's go ahead and exit. Let's go to router Ospf press ID of 1 network 192.168.10.0. and remember, it is a walkout mask over here. 255 and the area is going to be 0. Okay, so this is great. Let's go ahead and copy this. Let's go ahead and there's going to be router 2. So let's go ahead and open the console. Config T. Let's give it a host name first of router 2, and then interface gigabit /0 or 0/0 IP address of 192. Oh, I guess I copy everything. That 2. Now shut down. Let's go ahead and exit. Router Ospf bus ID of 1. Network 192.168.10.0. 255, and let's add it to area 0. And let's give it a minute and let's see if we are able to form a neighbor relationship with router 1. Here we go. We were able to form a neighbor relationship with router 1. If we do show Ospf neighbor, so do show IP Ospf neighbor actually. Here we go. We have a neighbor relationship with the neighbor ID of 192.168.10.1, which is router 1. So that's good. Now let's go ahead and configure router 3. Open the console. Config T. Host name R3. Interface gigabit 0/0. IP address 192.168.10.3. 255. 0. Now shut down over here. Exit. Router Ospf bus ID of 1. Network 192.168.10.0. 255. Area of 0. The same area as the other ones, right? Now let's give it a minute so they can form a neighbor relationship. There we go. Now we form 2 neighbor relationship. One which, as you can see right here, router 1. That's the IP address of router 1, and also the router ID. And this is the other one for router 2, and that is the router ID for router 2 as well. You can do show IP Ospf neighbor. We can see that we have 2 neighbors, and the state of router 1 or the router ID, this IP address, it is the default router, and router 2 is the backup default router. Okay, so that is great. Now let's go ahead to router 4. Go ahead and open the console. Great. Config T. Interface gigabit 0/02. IP address 192.168.10.4. 255. 255.255.0. Now shut down. Exit. Host name router 4. Router Ospf. Route Ospf. Press ID, let's give it 2. That's fine. Network, because they don't need to match like EIGRP, right? So network 192.168.10.0. 255. Area of 0. And now let's see if we are able to form a neighbor relationship. There we go. So now we're able to form neighbor relationship. Let's go ahead and end it. Show IP Ospf. Show IP Ospf neighbors. We can see from that, we can see that we have a neighbor relationship with router ID of this IP address. We also have another one for this IP address, and the one for that IP address, which is router 1, is a default router. There's the backup router, which is router 2, and router 3 is a DR other. And what are we? So what is router 4? We can do show IP Ospf interfaces, and we can take a look at that. So for gigabit 0/0, the designated router, so you can see right here, there's the backup designated router, and the hello is 10, the det is 40, the wait is 40. And let's see what is our status. It should be somewhere around here. Okay, not status, or the state. So the state is the DR other. So this is a DR other router. Let's see which one is router 1. Exit, show IP Ospf interface, and we can see that the state of this router is the default router. It has a priority of 1, and all of them have a priority of 1, and that's why when Ospf comes up, we all have a priority of 1. Since we all have a priority of 1, then what it goes is after the IP address. Whoever has the highest IP address, then that's going to be the default router. It didn't work like that because router 1 was the first one up, and since router 1 was the first one up, then this one became the default router, and then this one was the second one up, so this one became the backup designated router. But if we get to reload or the OS at the same time, this one is going to be the default router because it has the highest IP address, and this one is going to be the backup because it has the second highest IP address. Okay, so Ospf is working the way I wanted it. It's working correctly on GNS3. We have a switch running and 4 routers, and we can see that my RAM is only 7% and my CPU is between 17 and 23%. So that's working great because I have an i7 CPU, and I also have a 32 gigabytes on this computer. So a lot of activities coming up with GNS3. We're probably going to do some multi-link point to point, since you cannot do that on Packet Tracer. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do that, and other stuff that we cannot do on Packet Tracer. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and I'm really happy with this setup, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.